Okay guys, a bit of a frustrating one today, and yeah, I was in the market for just a little bit less than 3 hours, and as a screen suggests here, it worked out to be about 66 pence an hour, just under £2 profit for all the efforts today. Now it's important you know first and foremost that you should never sort of work your profit and loss out on an hour by hour basis, okay? Because it just doesn't work for what you're doing when you're trading. It really is a long term thing you've got to look at. You've got to have that outlook that it doesn't matter on a day to day. It's what happens at the end of the week or the end of the month, or the quarter or the year even. So yeah, we'll get that out of the way first. Really some interesting videos, I would say, today. So there's quite a few I don't trade. There's a few scratches in there. There's a few losses in there, and a couple of wins as well. So a few that I'm quite pleased with in a sense. And there's a good one. I think it's number 9. I'll just bring it up. So if you're just interested in the ones where you know something happens, either a loss or a win, then these are probably the ones that you want to look out for, and I will timestamp this video. But yeah, there's a good one, number 9, where I miss an opportunity. I'm too slow, and the price sort of crashes in the way I thought it was gonna. And yeah, you'll probably hear from my voice just how frustrated I was with that, and I had to do everything, you know, to keep myself in check, to stop my emotions getting the better of me in that one. And I think a lot of people could relate to that. So that's probably a good one to watch. And then number 11 is I sort of face my biggest loss, if you like, albeit the trade ends up going in my favour and working out. But yeah, I'll be interested if there's any comments on that, whether people think I did the right thing or the wrong thing holding on as long as I did. I honestly didn't feel like I was in a lot of trouble at any point, but yeah, I'll be interested to see if anyone's got any sort of different opinions on that. And then number 12, that was the last race where I entered a trade, but yeah, I ended up with a loss. And you'll see that sort of habit that's been sort of happening in previous videos, where I'm trading, you know, past post time, if you like. So I managed to negate the loss down to about £1.72, and I switched the recording off, and sure enough, the second I do that, there's another like chunk of money coming. I think it was ladder 2, and I found myself firing in again for a stake. Now, didn't catch it on video, but I ended up, it went nowhere really, and it was a pointless sort of endeavour where I think I made about 5 pence or something like that, so negated the loss by a further 5 pence. But yeah, that was towards the end of the day, and yeah, I was still a little bit disappointed that I actually went in and sort of made that trade, really, because yeah, I tried consciously not to trade in that sort of time zone all day. But yeah, look, there's some good stuff, some bad stuff. Please, if you get any value out of the videos, please like them. Yeah, any comments you've got, I'll do my best to answer. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed already and you're finding these useful, then please think of subscribing. It'd be much appreciated. Okay, I hope you enjoy the video, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with another sort of similar style video again. Okay, so first race of the day trading, just at this Wincanton race at 12.40. Got a pretty short price favourite here. Odds on at the minute. Can it keep coming down? It's been up and around the 2, as you can see, seemed quite comfortable there, but what's going to stop it coming in? It doesn't look like much in the way of opposition at the minute. Just get the pictures ready. So this has been through the 6, most of its trading range in and around here. So to stop this one coming in, that one's going to have to come back through the 6 and probably push push past this trading range here. And this is really starting to get going now. This one's not really doing anything. Ladder 4, again it's got the 10 to get through. There's nothing stopping it getting through that. And what else is there to look at? We've got this one, which has drifted quite a way all day, so that looks weak as hell. So, can this carry on coming in? This is back through the 6. This is coming down to the 10. What's this going to do? I'm just going to give it a bit of a second. This is starting to push down. And that's coming a couple of ticks now. So they're just talking up this favourite, and their 2 minute mark's coming. What's going to happen here? So this is pushing towards a 10, this is pushing down, so we have got opposition. This favourite looks strong, that's back over the 10. So there's a bit of opposition there. Can this keep coming? Do we have to get out? I'm just going to get out there, it's not worth the risk. This is starting to push back down again. I just need to reassess, is this going to keep coming, is this going to keep coming? It's not, but this has got going again. Okay. And there's big chunks of money coming in on this. You saw the big spike there, but it didn't really do much to this favourite. I don't know whether to looks like he's lining up at the front, this Nichols horse as well, which could have an impact. I'm just conscious of that big spike. I'm going to get in again here if I can, and I've missed that. So I'm going to take this one out. Money's starting to dry out. I'm just wondering have I made a mistake there. Let's just get out again. Okay, so £2.32 loss. I was expecting maybe a little bit more out of that favourite there. This one was really the one that stopped the favourite going. Okay, so bigger loss than ideal. But yeah, okay, I'll leave that there. That's sometimes how I certainly used to find when I was trading quite regularly that I'd often start the day with a loss or two. So it's not totally unexpected, but yeah, I definitely could have done better with that, but I'm not massively disappointed, to be fair. These things happen. I'll leave that one there. So here at this Newcastle race 4 minutes out. I think the Wincanton race is still running, so okay, so what have we got here? Got a favourite in on the crossover. We've got second favourite coming in, pushing down on the bottom of its overall trading range, so this has been quite strong all day, albeit there's not a great deal of money being matched on this market yet. This is interesting because when you're looking at the traded volume, there's more traded volume on this runner here at 8.8 than you would necessarily sort of think there should be. So you look at this one, sort of around about the 5.0, and even the favourite, it's not a million miles away from the favourite yet, so that's quite interesting. Is that gonna carry on drifting, or just sort of looking at these graphs here, it looks like it may have been drifting on the back of this one, but I'll get some pictures up. I'll be interested to see if this carries on drifting, if it comes back in. This favourite looks like it could drift. Now, I'm going to stick a stake in there, and I'm out at the crossover if it comes back through there. But we've got 3 runners here that could easily, and they look like they're providing a bit of resistance against this favourite. So I'm just going to leave the one stake in at the minute, and I might just and let's see what happens now. So is this going to come right back down? Okay, so this is still pushing, this is still pushing, so we've still got resistance. This is weak, but we've got half a stake out now, and we can't really lose money unless it comes back down to 3.8. So yeah, we just gotta give it a little bit of time to play out. So it's bouncing around a little. This is really strong. Is this going to carry on? If this comes through the 6, then it might push this favourite out even more. It's starting to go against us now, but I don't think this favourite's necessarily strong enough to come back through this 4, so I'm not massively worried. This one's on the reverse again, and yeah, it is starting to fizzle out a little bit, so I'll just have another little bit of money there. Can this carry on going? And yeah, the temptation is to sort of get out sometimes, because you see your profit sort of dwindling, but there's still a little bit of opportunity. And people are going to start getting out of their trades now. So the last 30 seconds, and as you can see, the opposition's dried up. We probably just need to, we probably just need to get out of this at this point. We're just coming up to the post time now, so £1.20, not great, but you know what, it's not bad either. Could have done a lot better, obviously. Could have exited for the full amount, around about 220, 240, something like that. But yeah, I'm okay with that. That was quite a simple one, in the sense that there looked to be opposition against the favourite. We had the crossover as a safety point to get in above. So if it had come back down to that and looking like it was going to break through, you've got a decision then. You could either get out of the crossover or out, let it maybe come through the crossover just to see if it's got any more legs, because a lot of the time, might come through the crossover. It's only going to come through 1 or 2 ticks before it gets pushed back up again. So yeah, I think that was relatively safe, and executed a lot better than the previous trade. So I'll leave that there. Okay, so third race of the day. Just gonna sort these ladders out. So another really short price favourite. What's going to stop this coming in? So it's on the drift now. It's got opposition. This was up and over the 10, I think. And I first clicked this market on, so that's come through the 10. This is coming down towards the 6. and this is pushing on the bottom of its range. So there's almost 3 against 1 here in a 4-runner race. So just want to wait for a little bit more confirmation. This has got a crossover, and is this going to keep coming? We've got a decent solid sort of traded range there for a good amount of money. I'm not 100% in this, but I'm thinking this favourite could drift again. But we're going to ideally want to see two of these really giving it some opposition. So you can see this is building up a good bit of money now. So that big chunk of money went then. What are we looking at? Now, is this going to break through the bottom of this range? And it is. It's starting to. This has drifted up. I still think this might drift. I'm going to put a stake in there. If it does sort of really break through this, then I'm going to get out sort of here. But we're coming up to the 2-minute mark as well. What's happening? We'll give it a little bit of time to breathe. 2-minute mark's come. We'll maybe just take a couple of stakes out here. See, there's a bit jumpy, but that brings our potential to lose right down to the bottom of this range now. So this is pushing again. This isn't really going anywhere, but how much can we expect this favourite to realistically drift? I'm going to take another little bit out there if I can get it. So we've only got sort of £13 in the market, and it's quite a low price. I'm going to put an exit point up there, and I probably won't let it go sort of lower than this now. This big chunk of money here. This is still pushing, this is still pushing, so that's important. But they're not conclusively pushing down, so, and we've got that match, so 168, that could carry on going, but, and it has, which is just sod's law really. But you see there, that was a decent, I think anyway, a decent enough trade. So I always had my exit point in mind, and that was sort of at the bottom of this chunk of traded money here, and took little bits out as it went up just to mitigate that risk. And yeah, look, it has carried on going, so probably could have done a bit better on that, but this has started to get going now as well. But yeah, it's starting to come back in, so I'm not disappointed with that. That was a planned entry and managed quite well, I think, on the way out. So we got it right again. So happy overall with that. And sorry, before I go here, I'm just going to sort of tag this on to the end of that trade. And this is the next race at Kelso. And, you know, Aintree hasn't even gone off yet. Kelso's due to go off at, 3 minutes now. And that race still hasn't gone in play. So, like I said in one of my earlier videos, this is really key, especially when you're trading on days like Saturdays. You know, busy days where there's lots of race cards and races back to back. Do you really want to be trading this? Okay, you can. There's snippets of opportunity, undoubtedly, but at the same time, look how much money's been traded with 3 minutes to go. You know, there's bits and bobs of turnover sort of coming in, but is it enough whilst that race is in play, especially because you are still going to have your in-play traders? Is this really what you want to be trading? It's. I would say no. I would advise no, because more often than not you're going to get caught out. And yeah, I thought it was just worth pointing it out. So I'm not really interested in the Irish races today either. Now this one could provide opportunity with this short price favourite. There's nothing. You've got two horses really that are in this. These two could have a bit of an impact if they sort of break through this and get going. But yeah, at this sort of price as well, on the stakes that I'll be using, am I gonna get a lot out of it? I would probably trade this, to be honest, if I was using higher stakes, because I could probably get a few quid out of it, or that's the way I'll be looking anyway. But for this video set, I'm not interested in trading this, because the reward just doesn't make it worthwhile for me. So the next race I'll be back at is this Wincanton race, and that gives a little bit of breathing space then in between trades. So just to reiterate that point, just choose the races you're going to trade in on days like Saturday, and don't put any pressure on yourself to trade every race back to back, because you don't need to. Okay, I'll be back at the 1:15 race. Okay, so back here at this race, just gonna get my stakes sorted. I'm not really interested in trading anything at that price. So yeah, this favourite's pushing on the bottom of that range. Has it got enough to come further and maybe even break this fall? Don't know. It has got opposition though, so this is at the bottom of its range. This is pushing down on the bottom of its range. And we've got a few here that probably need to keep a bit of an eye on. So let's just have a look. Okay. I'm just wondering why the sound isn't coming through. Okay, so this messing around on here, and I've missed this move a little bit. So this one's gone back up over the 6, and this is pushed through the 10, so yeah. Messing around there, and I've missed a potential opportunity. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that one where it is. This favourite here. I don't think it's necessarily going to push past this. There still looks to be opposition against it. So these two are still pushing down against it. This one's pushing down. So could we scalp a few ticks here? Probably. This has broke through the 6 again. It hasn't done anything to this favourite, and this favourite's lining up there in the front, it looks like, as well. Albeit it's not clear. It looks to be a clear front runner. But this is pushed straight back down again. This would probably be a safe point to put in a couple of scalps maybe, but we are getting to the 30-second mark here. So a little bit disappointed that I was messing around there, and I really sort of missed the move. So hopefully hopefully it'll be something to reflect back on when I rewatch this again. But just need to be better prepared. So you can see this, it being at the front, sort of pushed it a little bit further down now. But yeah, I think it would never have the legs to get through that fall, for example. But you can see it's quite a tight market at the front end. So okay, I'll leave that there. I'm a little bit disappointed with that, but I haven't lost anything at the same time, so we'll move on to the next one. I'll be back at the half past one. Okay, so back here for this Newcastle race. Just over 4 minutes out, sorry. Okay, so what are we looking at here? The favourite under the 4.0. How short can this go? So it's trading most of its sort of chunk of range, really, in and around the 4. So the fact it's got through that looks quite significant. This has just broke through the 10. There's not loads else to keep an eye on, to be honest. Elegancia. We'll keep an eye on that one, just because of the name, really. Don't know if any whiskey connoisseurs might know what I'm on about. It's a brand of malt whiskey, Macallan do, and they've done a limited edition, Elegancia. Very nice indeed. Anyway, I digress. Back to the market here. So we've got ladder 3 coming to the bottom of its range. Ladder 4's through the 10. This one's sort of sitting doing its own thing. It's got quite a decent sized trading range, really. I'm probably going to wait for the confirmation point on this one. I guess the question is, as always, is what's going to stop this favourite? And that's coming for a few ticks. Okay, this is still pushing at the minute, if you can call it that. There's not loads of turnover here at the minute, so yeah. We're coming up to the 2 minute mark, so I don't know whether we're going to get a trade here or not. Be interested to see. This is pushing. What are these doing? Nothing. That's coming another couple of ticks. This is starting to push back down. Yeah, this favourite does look strong. I'm tempted to get on the back side of it, but it's too slow off the mark there. I've got to be careful as well, because it's at this point here with the 3. Although this one's coming down to the 4, it's still got the crossover, so it's the same sort of problem, really. And I don't. Yeah. Temptation is to go in here and think, fuck, I've missed that. But you know what? I missed it. We could have had a few ticks there. This is starting to push back down. This is starting to push back down. So we've got a little bit matched there. Okay. So it's an easy tick, I guess. Yeah, there's not loads happening. Probably could scalp this for a tick as well, but you probably noticed in my style, I sort of like, I'm not a massive fan of scalping unless it's sort of in and around the crossover. I will do it sometimes if I see sort of decent opportunity, and there's probably got a solid sort of range here to maybe be doing that. But yeah, I like to try and get a few ticks at least, so a little bit of either mini swings or obviously the big swings, but there's not really a lot of opportunity in this one. You could see the temptation to when that started going. I was too late to pull the trigger, but as it was going down, you could see my arrow following it, and the temptation was there really to try and chase that down a bit, but you've just got to accept sometimes when you miss it, and it did bounce up, and you know what, got 37p. It's not loads, but yeah, it's fairly easy. So nothing really happened on that one, and I don't know whether I'll trade this entry race, to be honest. Okay, so I left that entry race alone. There wasn't enough time by the time the Newcastle race finished to really sort of get in and do a proper analysis of that market. Now this one, that entry race 3 mile, so it's not going to be finished before post time here, I wouldn't have thought. So we've got to be careful in this one as well. What's going to happen here? So this favourite's already been through the 4 and it's drifted up. There's not massive amounts of money in this market. That's the favourite there. So I'm almost tempted at this point to... We've got opposition to this favourite. So this one, sort of at the bottom of its range here. This one's pushing down on the 6. It's not really doing a great deal, but that could get going as well, so... And there's a temptation to almost lay at this crossover now. Just see if it's going to get past that. So that's broke through the 6. This is coming through the 4. I would have been in trouble if I'd laid there, but you can see there's just not a lot of money being matched at the minute, and yeah, if I can miss that opportunity now. So it's a little bit too slow there. If it comes back down, I might think about getting in. Let's see. Is this going to keep pushing is the question we've got to ask ourselves here. There's a chance that this should get matched, I would have thought. But look, there's just no fucking money being matched here. This is still pushing, but yeah, I'm just going to try and get out of that there. Get back in there and back out again. You can see it's just safety first, really. And that's not getting matched quick enough for me to be confident. So that should get matched. But you can see it's just, there's nothing happening. All the focus is on that entry race. That's still in play. So it's a really good example of what I was saying earlier in terms of the timings in between the races. Now arguably he could have stayed in there and sort of scalped, I guess. But the turnover's just, it's shit. Yeah, this one would have probably been the one to get on. But nothing lost there. It's just a good example of being conscious of the timings in between the races. So I'm not going to trade this down Royal 1. It's two really short price favourites there, and they're probably going to bounce off each other, I would have thought. So yeah, I'll come back for that for the 10 to 2. Okay, so yeah, just 3 minutes out of this 10 to 2 race here. We've got a short price favourite. Nichols has had a few winners today as well, so that's worth bearing in mind. But where's the opposition to this favourite? So we've got the second, ladder 2, sorry, at the 6.0. So can that come through that crossover? It's been through it for a few pence really, but has it got the legs to really sort of come through? That would have an effect. There's not a lot of runners here as well, so that's good. So there's not a lot to keep an eye on. So we've got this one pushing on the crossover, this one pushing on the crossover, and I'm not massively confident on this, hence why I'll just keep the stakes as they are. This is through the 10. This is drifting up. This is toitering around the 6. I'm just going to get on this favourite here. This is pushing against it, but it's the only one. This has got to get back through the 6. Now if it comes out the top of this range here, then I'm going to be looking to get out. Let's just get some exits in here. I just got to be... I'm mindful that's ladder 2's coming down towards a 6 again. Is that going to get through? If it does, then probably have to get out earlier. And it's this ladder 4 that's the only opposition to us at the minute. I'm just going to stay in just for a little bit longer. But yeah, I am thinking I'm just going to get out of that if I can. Is it going to bounce back down? Just save us a few pence. No, just get out of there. Okay, so it never really got going. I thought there's not a lot against it, but yeah, the market clearly thought that was a limit really. So this has really got going. Is this going to get through the 6? There's only 30 seconds left. This is bouncing sort of up and down here. We've got a fairly decent sort of point to maybe bounce off here. It doesn't look like it wants to go past that. This is starting to come back in again, so it's pushing this favourite out. I'm not going to get involved at this point. Yeah, it took a chance. I'm not massively disappointed with that loss. It took a chance. It didn't look like there was a lot going against this favourite other than ladder 4. So, but yeah, I'll leave that there. I'll probably come back to either the Newcastle race or the entry race. Okay, so short price favourite here. Can it get through the 2? It's got a massive trading range. What's opposing it? This one's weak. These two are near the crossover. Yeah, what's coming in against it? There's nothing at the minute. I'm tempted to back this. Do we want to wait for a bit of confirmation? But this has drifted up all day. Could come back in, but I want to take a chance on this. and I'll sort of be out at the £2 mark, but with the view of giving it a chance to. And we've got a little bit of a move. So if we get a couple of stakes out there, then it's just going to keep drifting. Maybe see if we can get that matched. I think we should, yeah. So you see how quick and simple that was, sort of. There didn't look to be anything at all. We got out too early on that, and it's still carrying on going, but there didn't look to be anything opposing that. You had two over the crossover at 10 that looked weak. This one had been drifting all day. There's bits and bobs, I guess, a couple of prices, but were they going to affect this favourite? No. So, you know, one stake of 50 quid there, 52 quid, and easily managed our way out of that. Nothing difficult to understand there. It's a really good example of keeping things simple. Yeah, nothing more to say on that. I'm not gonna sort of carry on in this market now. I've made a nice green. It's really, really simple. And yeah, there's an argument to say, you know what, you should probably just wait for these sort of opportunities and only trade these opportunities, because you know what, more often than not, the probability was there that favourite was going to come in, and yeah, all the other signals sort of back that up. So it was a really nice, easy trade. But I'll leave that there. Okay, so coming down to the 2 minute mark in this entry race, the Newcastle race, I don't even think it's gone off yet. Let's just double check that. Oh, it's just gone off. Okay, so what's going to stop this favourite? It was up over the 258, the decent chunk of money. What's opposing it? Got some big prices here. The 2 minute mark's come. This is. I'm going to get in on, or try and get in on the back side of this. And I've missed that. Okay, you know what? That's really fucking annoying. But yeah, that could have been a really nice move. We've only got one ladder opposing it, which is ladder 4. These two are weak. Yeah, look, I'm just watching this going down now, and I know what I'm feeling, and I'm sort of like bursting to say, fucking hell, you know, I missed that move. That would have been a really nice move there, from 250 down to sort of 220 there, 2.2, sorry. But yeah, look, it is what it is. It's slow on the trigger, and it's still coming in now. Yeah, it's frustrating when that happens, but you know what, it is what it is. I've missed that. I'm not prepared to get in on it now. It looks like it's at the bottom of its range, and I don't know how much further it's going to go. But yeah, just you're going to come across times like this, and it's really, really important to keep your emotions in check. Every part of me was bursting to just, you know, start clicking there, because you get that feeling of saying, fucking hell, I missed that, and it's still coming in now, but I'm not getting involved. So I'm just going to take a deep breath there and move on to the next market. That would have been a hell of a nice trade, that would have. But yeah, as I say, I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully you take something away from that. If I'm happy about anything, if I look at it from a positive, you know what, I didn't chase that down. Had I chased it down, I would have still made some money, ironically, but didn't chase it down, and yeah, I missed the move. It's no big deal. Yeah, let's come to this win count and raise. Turnovers, it's not great, but it's not bad. Just got to bear in mind this down roar race, it was quite a big race, so you can see it's in play now, but it was a grade 1 chase. There's quite a bit of money being matched on that for an Irish race. So it's worth just bearing that in mind coming into this market. Okay, what's going to stop this favourite? It is a handicap race. It's always worth bearing that in mind as well. Okay, the handicap races, especially like this, you can't always expect a big move, but what's opposing? Nothing at the minute. So Frodon has drifted all day. It's got the 6 to come through, so if that's going to oppose, it's got to break through that resistance point. Now there's not a lot of money built up there, but it's still got to break through that resistance point. There's quite a bit of trading money here on ladder 3. Is that going to prove to be a bit of a resistance point for that horse? Yeah, there's not a lot going on here, so I don't know at the minute. I'm just gonna. This is starting to break through that. If this conclusively gets through here, then yeah, and this is pushing. You see how quick that happened. There's only ladder 3 at the minute. Now there's a lot going on elsewhere as well, which you've got to keep an eye on. So this is coming back down to the 4 now. Is it going to get through? I don't think it is. So I'm going to put a couple of stakes in there, and if it comes back down, it comes back down. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'll probably look to scalp a couple of ticks if it does. This is coming down to the 6. Is this going to get through that? So I think we missed that. No. Is there an opportunity to try to scalp a tick here? I think there might be, but I don't want to go in for massive stakes. So let's have a look there. I just got back out of that. You see how quick that happened. And if that comes back down, there's not a lot of money on the backside here. So again, we may have missed that. Yeah, it looks like we have. So there's not a great deal going on. It's definitely a scalper's market, this one. And there's only 30 seconds left, so you can see again it's another one that, you know what, there was opportunity there. Could have got in on this favourite as it drifted out when it was down at the 4, and I could have made a tick or two out of this horse. But again, I'm not massively disappointed about not making anything out of that. It's not my ideal sort of race anyway. I'm past post time, so yeah, I'll leave that there. Moving straight onto this entry race. Again, just looking here. Fairly short pulse favourite, I guess, in relation to some of the other runners. Now, looking at these ladders, what's opposing this favourite? Ladder 2 is at the minute, it's coming pushing on the bottom of its range. So is ladder 3. Ladder 4, is it opposing? Look, there's nothing stopping that coming back down, but it's sort of pushing more towards the top, albeit it's not a big range. So what else is in the market that we need to bear in mind? So we've got this percussion at 8.4, Fantastic Lady at 7.6. Let's just get these ladders back in order again. And yeah, it looks like a really tight market now. There's quite a bit of traded range here. You can see the money that's been matched here, and I'm gonna put a trade in here just on the chance, bearing in mind that it's quite a tight market. Is this going to get matched? So both of those have been matched, and I'm prepared to let this go against me a little bit at the minute. I appreciate it's quite a chunky red at the minute, but I think that could bounce. The reason for that is there's plenty at the sort of head end of the market that could help that happen. So this is broke through the 6. If that keeps going, that's important. Now I'm starting to get a little bit nervous because this favourites, it seems to be pushing down quite strong. What else is coming in? Not a lot, and the turnover's not great either. So we really need this to push to give us any chance here. And I'm sort of sat on a red at the minute that, yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit nervous about. So it's starting to get going now. This is pushing on the bottom of its range. What else is helping? Not a lot. Oh, is this going to keep pushing? I probably should have had pictures up really. So I'm going to start trying to get out of this now. And I'll be happy if I can get out there. It doesn't look like I'm going to lose anything now. And look at that, it's fucked off where I wanted it to. So if I'd held on a little bit longer, what I thought was going to happen happened. But you could see that, in all honesty, did I make the best decision there to let it go that far against me? It's up in the air, and I'll have to probably go back and review this video to really sort of understand whether I did make the right decision or whether I maybe should have got out when it was looking a bit dodgy. But you know, 4 or 5 horses under the 10. And yeah, it's a good one in terms of you know, sort of understanding what can influence a horse like this when there's multiple sort of runners in quite a tight front end of the market sort of race. And you can see this has bounced back down to this traded range that it was bouncing off at the start. So yeah, I'm okay with that. Did I get a bit lucky? Potentially, but I probably just could have waited really maybe a little bit longer before entering that. But either way, it's a small green, perhaps not the best trade, but at the same time, it's important as well that if you've got a bit of a conviction, I guess, is to not panic too much when it does go against you. Just sort of make sure that you reassess the market and understand what's changed from the reasons that why you entered really. But I'll leave it at that. I won't drone on too much. I'll have to go back and review this and yeah, just understand whether I can really justify that trade or not. Okay, interesting one. Definitely what's going to stop the favourite here? Not a lot. We've got 4 runners, a couple of biggest prices, and this one doesn't look like it really wants to sort of push down at the minute. So can we get a move on this favourite? And am I in too slow again? So I've gone in for £100 there, and you might be thinking that's quite big, but ladder 2's drifted over the crossover at 4. This is pushing down a little bit. I think this favourite's still quite strong. You just got to be mindful of the money built up here as well. So I'm gonna set a few exit trades down here. When 2 minute marks come, what's happening? Not a lot now. I might have to think about getting out of this if it drifts up to this point here, but this isn't going to have a massive effect. Ladder 4, this isn't really pushing that much, and if anything, ladder 2 is the one that would sort of stop this favourite. I mean, look at the price of this favourite. It's sort of key here, and there is a bit of money here. Is this going to carry on going? I think this is maybe a little bit of noise here, but you know what, I'll just get out of there. It's looking a bit dodgy, and yeah, it's sort of pushed. There was quite a bit of money building up there. Just made me a little bit nervous. Ladder 2's broke through the 4 now. Well, is there a chance of maybe getting a couple of ticks on this as it comes back up to the crossover? Okay, so nothing's really happening here. I thought that favourite might have got going, to be honest, but I think there might be a quick opportunity maybe to scalp a couple of ticks here. Let's just see. That should get matched. The liquidity is picking up a little bit now. I'm just keeping my eye on this. I'll take that out of there. And I'd past post time, so I'm conscious of that, but there's quite a long way to go in this market yet. I don't really want to push up past this. I'll be happy to get, if it came back down to the crossover. Okay, so back in there. Can I get out again there? If we can get both of those stakes matched, then I'll be quite happy with that. And the money's disappearing. I just want to be careful here. So yeah, I'm just going to get out of there. So I've negated that loss a little bit, but not massively. And I'm going to leave it at that. I thought there was a little bit of an opportunity there, but yeah, leave that there. It's yeah, another interesting one, I guess. Okay, it's coming up to the end of my trading day, to be honest. I've been trading for close to 3 hours and on and off, but yeah, it's I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to feel a bit tired. So okay, come to this race then. So this has just gone over the 4 quite recently, I think. What's coming in against it? Ladder 2 looks like the only sort of viable one at the minute. What's this zip doing? It's drifted up over the 10, but if that comes back through, it could be interesting. Monshore Cody. I'm not massively worried about that at the minute, but there's a few to keep an eye on here, so gotta tread carefully. Now, ideally, if I'm going to trade anything, I want to catch something in and around the crossover, whether that's this favourite or ladder 2 or ladder 3, so that's what I've got in my head at the minute. And yeah, the turnover, look at this, like 10s, 20s, 30s, it's not great, is it? I don't know what's happening at this Gowan Park, what's in play at the minute. Okay, so this favourite slowly but surely drifting. This is pushing, that's it, still around the 10, and that hasn't moved, so it's just a matter of waiting. When's the money going to come? Here we go, ladder 2's pushing. What else is pushing against this, or is it just going to be these two bouncing off each other? So this one's starting to... Now this is starting to go. This zip's coming through the 10. So there's definite opposition against this favourite. This is bouncing out. That's gone out. That hasn't really moved. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure here. It just looks like these two might. So zip's coming again. That's coming quite quick. So I'm going to re-sort these ladders and just keep an eye on this one. Yeah, this is really pushing against this favourite now. But it's not doing a lot to it. It hasn't moved very much. And there's no money really here to sort of get in against and use as a benchmark. A bit of a safety point really, so yeah, it's another sort of flat market in terms of, now there has been moves, so I'm not saying it's flat in that sense, but to spark my interest, there's nothing really got going there, and I'm happy just to jump out of this and leave it alone. Yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Okay, so on to this next market. Now this one is quite interesting because we could quite easily get a 2v1 here. Got a really short price favourite, the Skeleton Horse. And yeah, could we get a lay trade, I guess, in one of these at the crossover, or is it a case of this favourite's just too strong and get back trading against this? Don't know at the minute. Now this is pushing down. What's happening to this one? Is ladder 2 the weak one? There's not loads of money being matched here, but this favourite's pushing. Yeah, it's not massively obvious at the minute. I do think this favourite's really strong though, but quite a bit of money building up here, so is that going to push that out now? Look at that, there's a big chunk just coming against it and took that out. So that's pushed that over the 4. It hasn't done a lot to this. Just really trying to understand what's the safest. If we're going to make a trade, what's the safest trade to make? And this is pushing down on the 4 again. This has been... Is this going to keep going, I guess? It's drifted all day, but... Yeah, this favourite does look quite strong though. These two are almost at the point of swapping positions, and this favourite's just doing its own thing. I'm not massively confident about backing this, to be honest. This one's coming back down again. Is this going to get through the 4, and is that going to keep coming? Because it's sort of key as to whether this favourite comes back in again though. Oh, there's big chunks of low money in here. It's back again. Yeah, I think this wants to go out. Just missed that a little bit there. Is this going to get through the 4? And again, just missed that. There's big chunks of money here. Is anything going to get going? We've got 18 seconds left. You know what? I'm going to get out of there. I don't think anything's going to happen. The time left. Yeah, other than that initial move, this drifted a bit, but yeah, it's frustrating, I guess, again. But nothing less. It's sort of been the trade market today, really. I haven't really got anything in motion or got anything going. But I might have a look at this one in a minute, but I'll probably make this one count and one my last race, to be honest. It hasn't, nothing's really sort of happened today. Missed a couple of decent sort of trades and just been too slow to enter, but yeah, and I've made a few mistakes at the same time, and quite a few scratch trades and quite a few markets where I just haven't done anything. So, yeah, I'll leave that there. Okay, so this is the last race of the day I'm going to trade here. Yeah, just looking at these two, the Harry Fry runner and the Paul Nicholls runner, sort of in and around the same price. This has got quite a big traded range where it's coming from, whereas the Nicholls runner, it's drifted out and sort of been comfortable in and around this range. So is this going to carry on coming in? And I guess if this one can help it, then is the Nicholls one going to carry on drifting? There's literally no turnover at the minute. I'm just going to bring the pictures up. I don't know if I want to try and battle against either of these. Whether perhaps this one, this Skelton one, might be the one to try and get on if it drifts up towards a 6 now. It does look relatively weak all day, but there's still a chunk of change being matched on it overall compared to this current favourite on ladder 1, so it's just worth bearing in mind. you can see how the graphs can sort of throw you off, because you're looking at, what was that? Who knows? It's been bouncing up and down a little bit in this range all day, so these favourites look like they're battling each other, and I think is this going to carry on being the week one? It's come through the 6, I think it is. Just missed that there. And is it going to bounce back down? So I don't really want to chase it up. This is coming down to the 6 now. So this was definitely the weak one, but this is sort of doing its own thing. And yeah, it's another missed opportunity. I don't think that's necessarily going to come back down to that again. And I'm not keen to get on this favourite, albeit there's nothing that's looking like it's coming in against it. He says, yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. This is really looking quite strong now, isn't it? But yeah, it's another frustrating one for me. Just too slow in pulling the trigger at the 6.0. Sort of got it right to a degree, and could have missed an opportunity on this horse really. But yeah, equally that would have been a quite safe trade as well, to get in, and would have got a few ticks out of that. But when I take my stake out, I'm not really happy with how I've traded today. I've been too slow on, look at this now. Yeah, I've been too slow really in pulling the trigger, and I've missed a couple of half decent opportunities because of that. So but yeah, let's get rid of this. Let's just bring up the P&L. Okay, so as you can see, it's literally made nothing. I might as well not bother today, considering I've been in the markets for sort of 3 hours. It's really been a tough session, I guess. Now, the positive is obviously I haven't lost any money, but I've had 3 losses in the whole session. I've had quite a few scratches, and I've had quite a few markets that I've entered where I've made no money out at all. Just haven't had the confidence or whatever it is to really pump a trade in. And yeah, there's obviously been a couple of markets like that one there, where I've sort of missed the opportunity by just being that little bit too slow and not sort of going off my own convictions really. So yeah, look, it's not a loss, but it's probably you know what, I'm not massively disappointed with any of these losses, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, look, you have days like this, you know what, you sit down, you have decent expectations, and nothing plays out the way you'd envisaged. So it is what it is. I'll be back again tomorrow, and hopefully, yeah, might get some better opportunities tomorrow, or I might be a little bit quicker off the mark. But yeah, listen, appreciate it's been a long recording today, and yeah, I hope that there's some valuable sort of bits of information, a few little nuggets in and around that, albeit nothing amazing's happened. That was by far the sort of highlight of the day, for that £3.30 green, where yeah, it was just blatantly obvious what was going to happen there, and yeah, got a nice easy trade in there. But yeah, I'm okay with that. It does happen. So listen, I hope you got something out of that, like I said, and yeah, I'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys.